It's been 3 months. 3 months since I posted my last Nextbot video. And I can never be lazy, right? Like, I can never be lazy, right? I got a couple comments the other day that kept mentioning when the V1.6 would upload. It takes a while, okay? Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, let's go. So you got the evade, ripoffs, lighting, replicator storage, server scripts, starter character scripts, starter GUI, starter player scripts, and workspace. So I'm going to go bottom to top and do the smallest items to the biggest items, and let's get started. We have a Gmod lighting configuration menu. So basically, inside the script, you'll see all these lighting preferences. You can change those how you want, but the things that it's set to right now is kind of similar towards Gary's mod. Every time you open the game, you're going to see a blur on your screen, and it's just progressively going to get to 0, and that's just a little aesthetic that it has. And what it also plays a beeping sound at the beginning, which is like when you spawn in the game, in the real game. So yeah, so after that you have the safe zone, and wow, yeah, the bots actually go away from you this time in the safe zone. Yeah, woohoo! So in the safe zone, there's a spawn location. It's basically just inside of the safe zones, grounds, and stuff, but it's exactly how it is. You can delete this if you want. It doesn't really affect anything. In the walls, it's just borders. Doesn't really matter that much. And the safe zone part actually has some pretty cool stuff. So in the safe zone, on screen, it shows that there is music playing. And at the bottom right corner, you see that there is a text that says, "You're safe." Well, when you exit the safe zone, you see that the music gets slower. Then you enter back in and it gets faster. Pretty cool aesthetic. You don't have to do anything with the scripts. It's literally just how it is. And it just has transparency effects and whatever. The image label and text label are the actual things that show on the screen. Do not change the name of those because those affect everything, as you can see. So after that, you got bustable doors. So these don't have animations, that's the problem, but you could probably make that for your own. It's just you make a thing that tells when you touch the door and make a breaking animation. But yeah, so on screen it shows the door in action. It actually has a sound effect. So it has an auto reset script, which you can change the time for, but I suggest you don't. It just resets the model in case it falls into the void, which you'll understand in a sec. The sound ID just plays the sound, it doesn't really matter, and the wait time is set specifically for how long you wait before it responds after you touch it, which will be explained in a sec. The touch hit, which is the actually main part of the script, I'm going to explain right now. So, you have the C-frame look vector, which is actually your part of how you see, and this multiplication symbol times the amount of number is, of course, the amount of knockback that the door has. So when you touch the door, it will become not collidable, so then you can walk through the door without getting hit, but you also keep your momentum. So in like 0.05 seconds, it will start collide again, so it will still be able to touch the floor, but it won't necessarily affect anything unless you have a wall right next to it. You can change the weight for it, and then it waits 10 seconds. Like, this makes sense for the sound ID, so then it waits to the perfect amount so it can play the sound again, and then it just has a reset script after 10 seconds because that's when it goes back to normal. So in the unanchor, it's just simply unanchored when it gets touched. It's not really much, and yeah, so there's tons of textures. You can change these however you want. This is just some random ID that I found. I just slightly edited it. Of course, you know that it's terrible, but whatever. So that's all in the workspace, and yeah, so I have 2 bustable doors if you want. You can copy and paste. So in starter player scripts, there's just these options. That's it. Remember to delete. You don't need to delete it. It doesn't do anything, but I suggest you delete all of the disabled scripts. So scary, just if you uncheck this option in properties, it will, I think, it will disable the on-screen TV static effect from Nico's Nextbots. You guys are gonna like the jump scare, actually. So in starter GUI, there's tons of stuff. There's a camera blur on menu, which is on screen right now, and there's a camera zoom in and zoom out. So all it does is when you die, it will zoom out, just like in Nico's Nextbots. and zoom in when you're back to normal. So you can set its max zoom distance and minimum zoom distance as shown here. This little wait script at the beginning just waits till your game loads and then it will set the camera zoom. I have an F4 flashlight as shown on screen. Most people in my comment section said that it didn't work for some reason. Check again. But it does work. You put it in starter GUI, and it also has the function key, F. So the key E is good, but whatever. This is not made by me. This is some random script I found, but yeah. This Nico's Nextbot's b-hopping script, this is very important because in this script, it's also, by the way, it's not exactly like Nico's Nextbots, but it's close enough. Do not rename this. And you'll see why in a bit. I'll show you another script that will relate to this and you'll understand why. But do not rename this because this interacts with the safe zone. In the safe zone, when you walk in, you disable your jump. Because whenever you jump, there's a slight frame in which your character is not falling, jumping, or anything in between, so the screen doesn't know what to do. And the menu and sounds and stuff will mess up, so that's why I disabled all jumping options inside of the safe zone. And Nico's Nextbot's b-hopping uses jump power, and jump power messes up the script when I disable jumping. So I set it to jump height and disabled the b-hopping script in starter GUI. That's why. For nerds out there, I'm not a nerd by the way, yeah, you can probably figure that out. So in the script, you can also change how fast it goes. I have some notes here for you, and lots of my scripts you'll see notes, so just be aware so you don't have to come back to my videos. And yeah, so you can do that. This is your move direction, so how easy it is for you to turn. This is how you keep your velocity, and this is the velocity increase. In your screen tilt, on screen it shows, basically you click a strafe key and it angles your camera in the direction of your strafe key. So it's pretty simple. The scary GUI is what uses in the Nextbots when it gets closer to you. It's in Nico's Nextbots, and you can mess around with some stuff in here, but I suggest you don't if you don't know what you're doing. So yeah. In starter character scripts, you're gonna see a couple scripts. There's a ragdoll script that is not mine. It goes in starter character scripts as shown in the script and in the folder. You can enable limits, but I suggest you not because it makes your arms fly around way better, and it's just better for some reason. In the camera shake, this is also made by Emre, and yeah, you know him, he's the GOAT. But basically you could just change the distance when the camera shakes. This is a first person shooter kind of thing. Camera offset, which is optional. You can delete this if you want, but all it does is it offsets your camera, so when you go in first person you see all your body parts. Exactly. So lerp, this is a little interesting thing. It literally angles your camera based on your camera's movement velocity. So if I yank my camera as shown on screen, it has that little angle effect, which is just a little aesthetic that you might like. I don't really know what I was intending for this, but I just added it, whatever. So, there's another run script, which, as shown, it has an evade. It's from evade, you can tell, because the run slowly gets faster, as shown on screen. And, yeah. Pretty cool. You can change the field of view and the walk speed and stuff, but, yeah, that's basically it. In server script servers, you'll see main. This is the evade walking. By the way, I extracted this from the real game, so that's why it has these like required health to be down. Do not change these, it won't work. I've already tried and it just won't work. So just ignore, don't change all of the values or anything, because unless you have the down script, you won't be able to, none of this will be affected. So yeah, if you did, the previous name is main. So disable force field, which is optional. Again, you're gonna spawn in the safe zone as shown earlier, so that's why I have this, but it's just annoying with that stars all over your screen, so whatever. This is also not made by me. I just found it in the toolbox because I was lazy. So yeah. In replicated storage, as showed in starter character scripts, you can see that there's a camera shake. This camera shaker was also made by Emre. It was probably stated somewhere. No, it's not, but this correlates with it correlates with the script in starter character scripts. You can change some of the values in here, but you shouldn't change it unless you know what you're doing. And yeah. In lighting, there's scary. You need this because it changes some things in your view, which makes it scarier when you're running from Nextbots. And now, for the cool part, where you guys actually waited a long time for this, is the evade ripoffs. So, in the evade ripoffs, there's a cursor evade, which is basically, as shown on screen, the center of the camera. There's going to be a mouse. It's just simple. It corresponds with the menu, and there's a health in the bottom left corner. And there's the evade menu GUI, which is the main thing. This took me a whole month. It took forever. So that's why I haven't uploaded. And you also have this M to menu script, which literally you click M and it goes to menu. It's disabled at the moment, but you can always enable it if you want. This is a camera script and a settings script. For settings, you can enable if you want certain buttons and if you don't want certain buttons. The images for certain buttons are also put in there, and they're also not made by me. So, yeah. Someone else made the images, but I put them into a script, and yeah, that's how it kind of worked. So, don't edit this whatever you're doing, but this is how all of the images work and how they are positioned, so this took me a while. Anyway, yeah, that's how it works. You can mess around with it and change some buttons, but I recommend that you change some of the names. You can change them in here, click sounds. You can change the click sound of what you want, and other stuff like the text and whatever you want to do in your game. But it's pretty cool. They have credits and whatever. So, in Workspace, you also have this interesting thing where you have a camera. So there's a camera in Workspace that is going to be the evade menu. You can also angle the camera different directions by changing the face rotation, and it will show it in the menu. It positions your camera in a way so it connects to a part in the workspace, and that's all it does, and that's the background. You can just put those in Workspace and rotate the camera and stuff like that. Just rotate it and whatever. Just put them into Workspace. Don't ungroup the ungroup. Now I'm going to show you the menu. Also, this song in the menu is not mine. It's made by Ugly Burger Zero. In the Nextbot thing, don't change any of the names, description, body parts. Don't do that. Do the don't. So yeah, this is an auto reset script because if this Nextbot falls into the void for whatever reason, it can always reset back. That's just how it is. If you want to change the speed can be changed, by the way. You go into properties after clicking on the humanoid and you can change the walk speed. And yeah, always enable jump power. Just enable that. And you can change his infinite health too, or set it to 100 for the normal health. There's a chase script, which has the chase, but also inside that script it has another backup chase as well, which is the normal V1.5 Nextbot. And then you have a find player script, which also has some other options as well, which will make it kind of useful in the future for more than one player servers. So, a little story that I have is there was one time where I was with my friends and we were playing a Nextbot game, which is the game that I'm playing right now, like that gnome simulator thing. We were testing out the Nextbot in there, and he did freeze at when 4 players were in the game, but he fixed himself after a couple minutes. So yeah, that's a problem because of player additions and stuff during its pathfinding, which can't be changed, which is at the moment that I know of. So I also have these other scripts, which is just a random jump script, and how to insert an asset ID into an instant. So, oh, that was actually kind of loud. So, I have a tutorial inside of a tutorial inside of a tutorial made Roblox Studio script. Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh. So, you have Imager. You just paste these links. That's it. And I just told you how to make an asset ID and put it into there. And yeah, all these tutorial links work of this video. And yeah. So, there's a reset script. This is also for humanoids if it doesn't work. A sustained speed script. In evade, the Nextbots, as shown on screen, jump and keep their velocity the whole time. This is using the same script as the Nico's Nextbots V-hopping, but slightly altered in a way so you can sustain the speed. You could delete this if you don't want the sustained speed, but yeah. So that's pretty cool. The target changer script changes your target, and it's kind of just pretty simple. It's not much, but yeah. In the humanoid brute part, there's a sound ID. You can use the tutorial I have right now, which is you take the asset ID by copying it and then putting it into properties, deleting the pre-existing text, and pasting in your new asset ID. That's not the asset ID. Yeah, you can do that too. Or just look into the tutorial link inside the tutorial link instead of a model inside of Roblox Studio. So you can read and delete some stuff, but yeah. Change off the roll-off max distance and the properties of the sound ID. That's how far you can hear the sound if you want to change that. Unstuck scripts, so you don't need to touch that. That just makes it so if the Nextbot gets stuck, it will unstuck itself. In the collision, that's the Nextbot, like, just a little thing about it. It's part of the scripts, just don't worry about that. In the face, there's the billboard GUI, which is a Nextbot image. You can have an animated image now, the one that actually works. The last one I messed up a bit and changed it to texture. Now it actually works because it has an image ID. You just paste the IDs into the correct places, so that's it. You can also change the wait times, but yeah. In the hitbox, it has some JUMPSCARE scripts, which is just like transparency and stuff. And in the JUMPSCARE UI, you actually have the real JUMPSCARE. You have the sound, which is like evade. It has a slight time position, which is just cutting it at the very beginning. It has a shake on the screen, and then another image, which corresponds to the actual image that you have, so you don't have to individually change it, appear on screen as well. You can also change what it says in the continue bar at the top of the screen, and you can also change the feed, but they also have scripts as well. So, yeah. There's some parts of Nico's Nextbots where they have like top and bottom black lines. It took a while to position, but based on your Roblox Studio, it's going to look off, but don't worry, it's just normal. And we all have different setups that we have, so it's going to look weird. But yeah. In the name here, all you do is rename the part. Rename this part to your Nextbot name. Because when you die, it will display that and the name and the image right next to it. So yeah, just that's a cool thing, because if you rename the Nextbot, the shake scripts won't work. So yeah, that's just how it works. Yeah, if you haven't figured it out already, you rename the part to the Nextbot name. This is what shows up in the kill feed. Put a period. Okay. Oh my gosh. We're done. Let's go. Will the 1.5's kit still work if the 1.6 stuff is added too? Yes. Congrats on 2 subs. What inspired you to code on Roblox? I just saw YouTubers do cool stuff, and I was like, I want to do that. So I did. I originally just only used the terrain tool, and that was just pretty funny. Also, how are you able to code to Roblox? So, funny story, I basically just know what the code's doing, but then what happens is I would, like, modify it, and then I would learn how it actually, like, to type it and stuff, and then that's how I made my own. Are you gonna do live streams? Probably. Will you add a round system? Maybe. What inspired you to make YouTube? I just saw Nextbots and I was like, whoa, that's cool. What if I made that in Roblox Studio? And then all of a sudden my video blew up and I was like, oh my gosh, this is cool. So, yeah. What inspired you to do Nextbot things? Exactly. Sorry. What would you be doing on YouTube if you didn't do Nextbots? I don't know. I'd probably be doing like montages and meme edits or something. I don't know, man. Will you make the run system like a Evade where it starts off so exact, bro? You guessed it. Bro, this is a month ago. My apologies, but dang, you got it. Nice. Yeah, you're gonna do V1.6. So kill feed? Yep. Yay. Yay, OMG, you finally post something. Lol, your Discord server got deleted. Oh yeah, I had a Discord server and then got nuked. What's the first game you played on Roblox? First game I played on Roblox. Probably the first game I ever played on Roblox was Knife Simulator. It was like you would throw a knife at someone, but you could customize your knife. That was literally it, and it was just a free-for-all. How old are you? Don't need to answer if you feel uncomfortable. Can you make a new Discord server? Yeah, I will actually. Here's the Discord server. It's right on screen. You maniac. You actually made it to the end of the video. Well, what are you waiting for? Go check out the model. I'll see you in a future video, and I apologize for my bad upload schedule.